Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we are going to have a little chat about two things. First is the Combat Patrol box for the Blood Angels, because this is actually kind of an interesting one. Well, I say interesting, it is, funnily enough, Primaris again. You're shocked. I know you're shocked. You just can't believe that they're going to stick a box for Blood Angels full of Primaris. Well, they have, and you're not shocked. That was all complete sarcasm, as I'm sure you were aware straight away. So we've got 5 Intercessors, 5 Incursors by the look of it, 3 Aggressors, a Librarian, and an Impulsor. That makes this box actually pretty good in terms of value. Anyway, there's going to be a significant chunk to be saved by buying this thing, if it is indeed £85 as the Space Wolves and Deathwatch ones were. Now, if it is still 85 quid, and that turns out to be the standard, that's actually pretty promising. I mean, I know it means that these boxes are, of course, far more expensive than the Start Collecting ones by quite a bit. I mean, the minimum increase in terms of price is 20 quid. That's quite a lot extra. But if it does turn out to be the same price, that's actually not too bad, because that bodes quite well for armies that do not have a high points per model cost. So things like this, I mean, the Impulsor, that's quite an expensive kit. That makes this box, should it still be £85 like the other two, well, it's a hell of a discount. It's a pretty big discount, in fact, and that's kind of what I'm hoping we'll see. If it does stick with that price point, things like Orcs, getting you 500 points, your 25 power of Orcs, the actual, Combat Patrol box should be amazing value. Same thing for Imperial Guard, same thing for like Genestealer Cults, you name it. When it comes to Horde armies especially, this could be a really good thing for them, because they will have an even playing field, but still pay the same as everyone else to get in. I'm kind of hoping that's what this turns out to be. Now, admittedly, again, it doesn't feel massively Blood Angels to me. The fact that we have Assault Intercessors now and Blade Guard, and they are not in this box, is a little bit irritating. But then again, those are new kits. Games Workshop are not going to stick those kits in these Combat Patrol boxes because, well, why would they? They can charge more for them individually, although they kind of are and aren't going to charge more individually. The individual boxes are going to be kind of expensive, but then you'll also be able to just buy things like the Recruit Edition of Warhammer 40k, the starter sets, and end up with quite a few models for like £2 more than buying them separately. It's just how it works now. That's just how it works. They're in their own little ecosystem, which makes some of it just seem really weird and obligatory, but there you go. I'm kind of hoping that we also see the Death Guard one soon. I think Death Guard are close after. I think, are they not December? Are they January? I can't remember exactly when, but I'm sure they've been mentioned. Be interesting to see what they get in that box. Part of me wonders, maybe it might be their half of Dark Imperium. That would kind of make sense, and that would be a decently sized box. I just can't remember how many points that's worth. I don't think it's 500, so there might have to be a bit of messing about with that. But still, it's promising, because this Blood Angels box is worth more than the others. As long as they stick to that price point, pretty good in terms of getting a bit of savings on. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the Astartes teaser leak. The fact that it was put on Patreon for the creator of Astartes patrons, funnily enough, kind of an update thing saying, sorry, I've been quiet for a bit, here you go, here's some stuff. It's not great that it's been uploaded a bunch of times by channels that aren't his, to be totally honest. I can understand why it happened, because it's the internet, and as soon as you put something up that's supposed to be exclusive, things leak. People want to talk about it, they want other people to see it, and unfortunately the actual wishes of the person who made the thing quite often get ignored. I mean, prime example of that being all the leaks that we get in terms of 40k stuff. It's a very similar situation. There are ways to combat it and ways around it. There are ways to try and mitigate that from happening, but in this specific instance, I have to admit, it's a little bit. I feel for the guy, because he clearly wanted that to be something for the people who support him directly, who support him monetarily. It's a lot of work for someone else to then go, well, I mean, I know you wanted it here, but actually I'm going to put it over here for everyone to see. And I have to admit, I don't buy some of the things that people say when they do stuff like this. I don't buy the promotion argument, for instance. I don't believe that a random, 200 sub YouTube channel putting up the teaser for Astartes is going to generate more attention for Astartes than Astartes putting it on their, several 100,000 subscriber channel. I don't buy that. If the video has got like 60,000 views, okay, great, that's 60,000 people have seen it, but considerably more would have seen it had it been put out through, the official channel. There's also the sticky thing of, well, Astartes is technically using Games Workshop IP, and is there a license for that? Is it just a fan film? In which case, can you really complain about someone stealing the trailer if the person who's making the thing is stealing Games Workshop's IP? That's a whole other debate for a whole other time. But at the end of the day, the guy who made it wanted it in a particular place, and I've no doubt that it would show up eventually publicly. It would show up on the YouTube channel. It would make sense for that to be the case. I'm afraid when it comes to stuff being leaked to YouTube, the best thing that you can do is have copyright stuff enabled on your videos, so that if someone else uploads your video, it gets hit automatically. That is the only way to protect that kind of thing now, because as we've seen from this, if you don't get in first, people will get in first just because they want to, not because they've made the thing, not because they particularly want to support, not because they even get really anything out of it. It's they want people to see it, therefore they will. And even if you don't want that to happen, kind of a bit late to stop it from happening now. Kind of sucks, to be honest. I will point out, I watched it on Patreon, which is where it was put, and I didn't mention it because, well, it's not my place to. He clearly didn't want it out there, so why would I suddenly, disappear or make a video or reaction or be like, hey, there's a thing you should all know about that is behind this paywall intentionally. Like, it just seemed like a not great thing to do, so that's why I didn't say anything at the time, but things happen, apparently, whether you like them or not. Anyway, that got a bit ranty towards the end, didn't it? Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you really don't like the stance of you shouldn't just re-upload other people's content without changes, then there is a dislike button there for the use of if you really want to. I will point out that it does exactly the same thing as the like button. It's all engagement. The algorithm doesn't care what you click, just wants you to click something. So, yeah, you can if you like. I'm not going to stop you. Thank you very much for watching, and, yeah, I'll see you for the next one.